ladies, a very good day to you and welcome to yet another edition of Honest Discussions with Jit Diary, the channel where we discuss, have honest discussions and even rant. Now, to my loyal, already subscribed audience, here's a huge thank you and thank you and thank you. You guys are the real MVPs. Without you, we would not be doing this. To the newbies, thank you very much for coming to our channel. I would strongly encourage you to watch the trailer pinned above this channel. That is where you'll get to know where we talk about, what we discuss about, and what we sometimes rant about. Today, I want to talk about something everyone does and no one does. Why do I say everyone does and no one does? Well, not everyone does it, and those who do it have been invisible for ages, until quite recently, but not very long. Regardless, I'm going to talk about it because it's something I have been making a lot of self-discovery about, self-acknowledgement, self-understanding, and I would like to share with you these discoveries, acknowledgements, and understandings. Now, fact number one. Did you know that cooking is an act of love? Which means that a woman who is not at peace with herself, a woman who is conflicted deep inside, a woman who is living in a toxic situation and environment can hardly cook good meals. This does not relate to or apply to only women, but apply to men as well. Now, what do I mean by it does not apply to only women but men as well? Now, take a look at this scenario. In a home where there's so much conflict, where there's so much chaos, and where there's so much, misunderstanding between the husband and the wife, there comes a time in that relationship where no matter how much effort the wife put in the meal, in preparing the meal, the husband will say, it's tasteless, it doesn't taste good, he doesn't like it, it's a terrible meal. Trust me, I know, I have been there. But when the relationship is also rosy and sweet, maybe even if it is past honeymoon phase, but all rosy and fine and all that, very little effort in the meal will make it so tasty and the partner will appreciate the meal very much. Why am I saying this? Is that sometimes a bad meal is not because the person who cooked it cannot cook, but it's because the situation under which that meal is prepared is toxic. So no matter how delicious that meal is, it can hardly taste delicious in the mouth of those who are in that situation. It all boils down to ensuring that we sanitize our inner and outer space. Your inner space is sanitized, is clean and is peaceful, and your outer space is sanitized, is clean and is peaceful. What am I saying? Do not live in toxic marriages, because toxic marriages produce toxic partners and toxic children. Lesson number two. If you have anyone that cooks for you, appreciate them, love them, encourage them, and most importantly, understand that cooking is an art. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes dedication. Now, last year, August, September, thereabout, I had a very extensive treatment. My gut was inflamed and I was in pains. I had to do a complete 2 months treatment to heal and cleanse my gut. So on the advice of my doctor then, I stopped eating outside and began to put in the effort to prepare my own meals. Now let me tell you what happened. When I began to put in the effort to make sure I cook and prepare my own meals, I realized the time I spent in the kitchen is time I will have put into productive use in other spheres of my life. I realized that my productivity reduced by half. What am I saying? is that cooking takes time. It's not something that you do with the left hand while you do something else with the right. Now that takes me back to 18 years ago, when I was being the definition of the superwoman. Married, raising kids, going to school, and working at the same time. Don't ask me how I did it. I don't know. I did it. But I always say it's one of the most intensively confusing times of my life, because I really don't know how I went through that period. I don't know how I survived it. And I know a lot of women can relate. So if your wife goes to work, comes back, and cook for you, man, you've got a superwoman. If you don't know it today. You've got a superwoman who is being extraordinary to not only be a woman but a wife to you. It takes extraordinary strength to do that. And you, the woman, if you've got a man who takes the stress of cooking off you, you've got a superman. Woman, appreciate, respect, and love him. I know not many men love to cook, but I know there are some who love to, and there aren't many, trust me. I have come across just very few in my life, men who love to cook. And don't even talk about modern men. Most don't know how to cook. I know that.